Curbing unemployment across Cross River State with 80% focus on women. The Cross River State government, under the leadership of Professor Ben Ayade, upon assumption of office in 2015, came up with the idea of constructing a garment factory. Located at the Ayade Industrial Park in Calabar, the Cross River State capital, that vision conceived in 2015 is today a reality. The garments factory through these years is a beehive of activities with women topping the staff strength of the facility. Join me on this edition of Focus Cross River on a facility tour at the state-of-the-art Cross River State Garments Factory. Focus Cross River is brought to you by the Office of the SSA Electronic Media, and I am your host, Imani Odi.
Garments are among the three necessities of every human, as it adorns and provides warmth to the body. Due to its importance, the need for a viable industry to meet the local demands and ever-changing tastes of humans cannot be overemphasized. These formed part of major reasons that led to the conception of the vision of establishing a state-of-the-art garment factory by the Cross River State Governor, Professor Ben Ayade.
I was in Abuja to speak with Mr. President on most of my projects, with emphasis on my signature projects, the superhighway and the deep sea port. However, as one of our quick wins, it was this government's policy to set up a garment factory which will cater to about 3,000 employees on a single swap, and 90% of those will be women. 80% of those women will be widows. So we focused on the recruitment and employment of women, and the president was quite enthused with that project and idea. On the garment factory, that's why I'm here with the contractor on full gear to ensure that the president comes and see a befitting garment factory here. And we are also going to depend on the American Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA program, which is intended to encourage African fabrics and garments to get into the US. It is against all of this background that this garment factory was the choice of investment. And we are
on some of the material you may say, let me travel to Lagos, let me travel to Onitsha, you get it here. So there is much benefit. If state government can open company or factory for that can produce all this material we sell here, it will help us a lot.
Among other reasons for the establishment of the factory is also a bid to revive the Nigeria textile industry and to grow the Made in Nigeria brand. Another reason for establishing the factory is to curb the increasing unemployment rate in the state, and for this purpose, the Ayade Industrial Park was chosen to create an industrial area where other investments can grow. And so, in merging words with actions, the best location was chosen and work began in earnest following the completion of the electrical and mechanical drawings. Few months later signaled the birth of the factory, adjudged to be the largest garment floor in West Africa.
Because truly this garment factory is the biggest in the entire Africa and is the first of its kind, full automation with first-class facilities, providing socks, singlets, t-shirts, underwear, pants, pajamas, army uniform, police, navy, prisons, immigration, NYC, school children, uniforms, bedsheets. The list is endless. all of that will be produced from out of here.
You can see it's in a very advanced stage. The amount of work that's been done up to now has been incredible in a short time. Everyone with the guidance of from His Excellency has motivated to get it done so that Cross River State and Calabar in particular can impress when the President comes to visit. As you can see, everything from the building to the lights, the large high mast lighting outside are installed, the generators are ordered, the switchgears ordered coming from Lagos, all the light fittings arrived, 900 light fittings arrived on Saturday, so everything is in a state of readiness, and God willing we will achieve our target.
I think it's important to look at the monument that you have here in terms of the size and so on, but even more important is to look at the economics. When the governor himself explained the economics to us, I think it made a lot of sense. We've talked about the employment opportunities, we've talked about and so on and so forth, but then the indirect employment opportunities and even the multiplier effect in Cross River State as a whole. You can't really, and I think this is the kind of model that we need to replicate in other parts of Nigeria. We talk about quick wins, we talk about diversifying our economy and so on. These are the kind of projects we need. Agriculture is good, solid minerals, that's also good. But this is a quick win. This is something that before the end of the year, you will take off and you will begin to employ. You'll begin to create what we call a middle class, because the whole bane of Nigeria is the creation of a middle class. And that middle class can start with projects like this. So we have to give kudos to the creators of this project, the Cross River State government.
Equipment for the factory arrived in consignment of 2 containers, and they include direct drive computerized lock stitch sewing machines, double needle lock stitch sewing machines, 4-thread direct drive computerized overlock sewing machines with auto trimmer and button attaching sewing machines. Others include straight button holing sewing machines, eyelet electrical button holing sewing machines, automatic pocket welting machines, and heat transfer machines 38 by 38 centimeters, pneumatic heat transfer 44 by 35 removable computerized servo cutting machines, round knife cutting machines, full auto cloth end cutter, and piano type air suction ironing tables. With the necessary equipment in place, the need for a viable workforce became necessary as thousands of persons across the 18 local governments of the state were allocated slots each. This feat by Governor Ayade no doubt justifies the policy decision of his administration's drive towards industrializing the state.
The capacity is supposed to absorb 1,000 persons at once. Yes, so that's why by the time we run shift, we could be having like 3,000 personnel that will be working here, taking all the departments into consideration. Because there will be a restaurant, there will be a warehouse, there will be packaging units, and we'll have packaging already. And there are some specialized people that, apart from the ones that do sewing, there are specialized people that fix all of the bottom, the ones that do the button holes, the ones that do the hemming, the ones that do the cutting. So by the time you categorize all of these units, you will have over 3,000 where we start running the shift.
If this is what we have been seeing in the past, believe you me, unemployment would have been a thing of the past, not only in Cross River, but in Nigeria. Because we agree with me that a team of youths who hitherto was supposed to be on the street are now given employed in this garment factory. And it's supposed to be a wake-up call to others who said they want to employ the unemployed on the street to see a kind of job that will give a multiplier effect, not only to those who are gainfully employed, but even to others who are dependent back home. For me, this is a good story to tell coming from Cross River. It's a story to tell coming from Nigeria. It's a story to tell coming from Africa. it is a sign that things are working in Nigeria. It's a sign that things will get better, even from Cross River.
For effective service delivery, a training session was held for the newly employed to operate the machines and manage the factory. The training session, according to the newly employed, is no doubt a welcome development.
To master this machine, because I've not seen this type of machine before. Now I've mastered the machine and the bottle knows that we use in doing buttons. Like this one, we use machine to put it. We don't use sandal again in this company.
Employment, which is a very good one, and we have more than how many people, thousands of people here coming in for employment. So far we are all busy, the youth are busy, so it's a good one he has really done for us. I assist in supervising. As a designer, there are some machines here that I don't have, and this is the first time I'm seeing it. So what he has done is great, because so far I thought maybe I was doing so well, but coming here to see some machines that I don't have, it's an improvement for me. I've really improved myself.
I'm very happy for what the Excellency have done for us in this garment factory. One, they have sent people from overseas to come and train us, the Indians and people from other countries to come and enlighten us. For today, we have made a lot of training, and the training have made me to understand what I don't know. For example, if you want to talk about measurement, there's a measurement that is, we don't understand the language. We use local language. Now we have enlightened us to use the correct language. We are not using the local language again, because they tell us that those clans that is coming to do business with us, when they come, that's how they will talk to us. That's learn us all those things. Then we will know what we'll answer. They will ask questions and we know what to answer today. Then we have learned us a lot of pattern, how to cut new pattern. I mean the new pattern that is in the market now. Then we can do that. And this is just the beginning, but even today, I've learned a lot. Even my people, they are very happy. Even other people, they are very happy. Even the management, they are very happy, because we have learned us a lot.
Set and running, the need to commission the factory came to bear, and the epoch-making ceremony was performed by the then acting president of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Commissioning the project, Professor Osinbajo commended Governor Yade for creating an avenue for employment and wealth generation in the state.
Losing a breadwinner in any home can really be devastating, which is why the vision bearer of the facility thought it wise to employ most women who have lost their husbands to work at the factory in order to make ends meet. Focus Cross River had a chat with most women in this category who spoke on the gains of these employments to their socio-economic and total well-being. Our focus on this segment is on a special category of staff at the garments factory, which are widows.
The multi-million naira factory is now a beehive of activities, with majority of the workforce being women and a tangible of the numbers, widows.
You can see the factory that engaged a whole lot of people, that employed a whole lot of women, mostly widows, because we discovered that a whole lot of women suffer when their husband or the breadwinners die. And that's why we had to bring them in to cushion the effects of that suffering, and then will give them a sense of livelihood so that they don't feel the burden of the fact that their loved ones have left them. And that's also, and beyond the social aspect of it, it's also a place that's supposed to generate revenue for the state, and I think we are living up to that responsibility.
NAWJ is the umbrella body for women journalists, and this is the Cross River State chapter. And we came to see what the governor is actually doing for the women in Cross River State. We came to appreciate his good job, and for me, I would say this is wow, it's amazing. It's something we've been hearing, and today it's a dream come true. People didn't believe it's going to happen, but it has happened in Cross River State, and I'm so proud of our governor. I think he deserves some commendations. We were told 60% of the employees, they are
widows, and that goes a long way to tell you that he has really touched lives. These are women that most times they are neglected by the society, they are forgotten by the families, and they just have to struggle with their children. How they do it, we don't know, we don't care. But another person just woke up and said, I'm not going to think about myself now, I'm going to think about the widows. It's a plot. And I tell you, it will go a long way in keeping food on their table on a daily basis. He has really touched lives.
Frankly speaking, I'm impressed. I'm impressed because actually we've been hearing a lot of things, and today I have seen it with my own eyes that the garment factory has actually commenced. We have seen the number of staff that are on ground, and I'll say that work has commenced, and I'll say that it's commendable.
In an interaction with 3 widows out of many at this factory, their engagement at the facility has positively turned things around after the death of their husbands, who prior to their deaths were breadwinners. The widows are appreciative of this employment by Governor Ben Ayade.
Staff here in this garment factory, we started right from 2016, so we've learned a lot here. Ayade has done so much for us, especially like me. I'm a widow. I have four kids, so we are doing fine. In fact, so many things that we did not know, we have learned here. We learned a lot here. Like in this part of sewing, we can sew trousers, we can sew shirts, we can sew boxer, and many other things. So we are still doing, we are going forward. And this is the very first time of me using this electric machine. We have been using manual. Then when they employed us, they brought people from Abuja, those trainees. They come and train us how to operate this electric machine, how to on it and off it, how to operate it, to trade it from the beginning to the end. So we are okay with it. Now we can even learn some other people how to trade it and how to operate the machine. We started here when they brought the first people that came to train us from Abuja. They stayed with us here about 3 or 4 months. Later they left. Now they brought in these Indians just to come and still learn us more and more.
Yes, I started from 2016, 6 October 2016. And they were started staying from that time. I lost my husband since 2014. So they come upon this place 2016 October. So since then, I enjoy the machine, but me, I already have been seamstress. But I don't get this type of machine. As I come this place, I come learn this one. I'm enjoying the machine.
I'm a widow with 3 children. I work with Cross River Garment Factory. I started working here since 2017. And it has not been easy with me before I started working here. I was a widow, don't have anything to do. My children were just like that. So I thank God for Governor Ben Ayade that funded this place, and I'm happy that I'm working here, and this helped me a lot because I have learned not only the money that is helping me, but I have learned so many things from here. I can sew trousers on my own, I can sew shirts perfectly well without anybody directing me, just as you see me sewing so. And my children, like the other one, have finished school. The other one now is in SS2, and by the grace of God, I'll be able to pay his school fee, and we are feeding fine. If you can look at me, the time I started here, it was not like this, but I'm looking very fresh and beautiful because of the work of the Cross River governor that he has impacted in so many widows. I mean, they are not owing us. That is the best and the wonderful thing so far. They are not owing us. They are paying us well, taking care of us, and they make sure everybody is well trained so that as they train you, you do your work perfectly well.
Through these years, The factory has maintained a periodical training exercise for staff of the garment factory, and each training session is usually an eye-opener to evolving fashion trends across the globe.
It's a training or it's a continuation of the training we've been giving to you. And basically what this one is meant to address is that it's still going to sharpen your capacity, your skills the more. In the sense that we told you when we engaged you from the beginning that training in this place is going to be a continuous process. And the training we gave to you last year will not be the same we are going to give to you again now. Meaning that the training we gave to you last year, you would have equipped yourself with that training, and that's why we can see that you are better persons than how you came in here before. And what NEPC is coming to do for us is unprecedented. Unprecedented in the sense that they have brought a very nice team all the way from Sri Lanka. They brought somebody from India. They brought someone that designed for Gucci before in America, AKK, and our team from, to complement what our team from India is actually doing with us now. It's going to be a 3-week training, and within the 3 week, we've already aligned a whole lot of things people are meant to do. And the thing will actually help you because we'll take you through a whole lot of processes like the type of seam and stitches, whether it's the French stitches and a whole lot of other stitches that will actually help you so that when you are doing a shirt for anybody to wear, not just for export alone, but also for a domestic market. If you are doing anything for, or making any cloth here for anybody to wear, you see that uniformity, you see that standard that will meet international standard. So that when you get a shirt, you will see a shirt or a blouse that the lines by the cuff will not be straight, that the collar will not be well positioned, that the sleeves will not be well fixed. So what they are coming to do now is to ensure that they sharpen your skills for you to be able to produce clothes or anything that will meet international standard. Whereby when you take your products, or when we take your products to continents like America, it will meet, or it will exactly meet what they want or what they have been sending to us to buy here in Nigeria. So that what the guys in Italy have been producing, the guys in Turkey have been producing, the guys in China have been producing, and India, and sent to Africa, will be exactly what we'll be producing here and now sending to them. It will not just be from them alone to us. Now, what we're trying to do now is for us to produce quality clothing that will also send to them there also, so that they know that Africa is not a dumping ground. Africa is a place in which Africa can also produce what they can use, what they can wear also in their own continent. And that's the reason why NEPC has come here to train us. It's going to be an intensive training. It's going to be interactive as well. It's going to be a hands-on on the machines. They're going to tell you not just theory, but also practical on how you can get things done and done them properly. So open your mind, open your brain, ensure that you get the best out of it, because I believe that whatever you get here is for your good as well, not just for the Cross River State Garment Factory. It's also for your personal growth, it's also for your personal health, which at the end of the day, even when some of you want to leave us and start your own businesses, the skills you acquire here will help you to drive your own processes as well and be self-reliant and also be employers of labor as well. Because I believe that you cannot just be employees, you're also going to be employers too, when you float your own firm and also employ people. But it's only when you put in your best in someone's business that someone can also put their best in your business as well when you start your own. So we want to encourage you, we want you to put your thinking cap, we want you to put all the high level of concentration and also dedication as well. Because we are here to train you, give you all the support you want so that you can be better off at the end of the day. With much ado, I hereby declare this event open for the training itself to start, and it's going to last for God bless.
And I thank God that what I need him for, what I need is still what is continuing, proactive, thinking ahead. We met in Israel, that's a surprising thing. And ever since I've seen him, he was a senator then. So for creating this, I'm not trying to boost your ego. I'm not a man of sweet words. But this is the only thing that is first in Nigeria. That is the thing. Because I've not seen this kind of setup for now in our country. And we should have more. So if we have started a platform for us to scale up, and that's what endeared me to doing what we are doing now, that look, you already have a platform to scale up things. I don't know why we cannot produce 1 million shirts in a week here. I don't know why. Because you are all energetic. You are all very under 20, under 18, the way you package yourself. So you have the energy. And there is a structure on ground. Not only structure, there is a political will. And there is not only will, there is ability to do it. Somebody already give you, set a mission. He also turn it to vision. And he also make provision. So everything is available for you. And that's why we are so encouraged to make sure that we latch on. Because there is an AGUA system that provides you to export to US without paying duty. It's a farm level, industrial level training. It encompasses everything from cutting, stitches, design, everything. Accessory, timely intervention, industrial standardization, everything that has to do with garment training. But I can also tell you it's not a one-off training because this one training cannot do everything. So, but we have started.
First of all, I'm the happiest man here today. I am the happiest man today because this is my constituency that is having this opportunity. I call it opportunity because there is nowhere in Nigeria that you have 500 tailors or under training like this. So, and as the president of all the tailors in Nigeria, I am the most happiest man here today. Yes, I want to appreciate the governor and the government of Cross River State for this they are doing to this industry that I belong. Because what I'm seeing here, the government has realized that it goes beyond the structure and it goes beyond the equipment inside the structure. The most important thing is those human beings here that are going to make it happen. Without them, this gigantic factory will be there, nothing will happen. But I want to appreciate him more that he has gone further, putting together the expatriates both from India and from South Africa, from Ghana, under AGUA, to give us expatriates that will train our staff here to an international standard. So I want to appreciate him for that, because putting this one up, putting all the equipment there, and he might just leave it and say let them do whatever they want to do. But he goes beyond that. He's a visionary man. He goes beyond that, making sure to make it work is where we are going. Because if they were well trained here today, they can be exported to abroad. We can start exporting our expatriates abroad to do legitimate job outside Nigeria. That is what we are trying to do today. That is the foundation we are laying today. I'm here for the first time. We are going to be partners because we are on it. I'm also an investor. I have like half of this ongoing as well. So we are going to be partners. Nigeria, we have what it takes. Are you getting me? We have what it takes to even go faster than what we are doing right now. And that's why we need to call on government, other government, state government in particular, to emulate what Cross River State government is doing, because it's developing human capacity, which is the key to any meaningful development anywhere in the world. If you left your capacity left untrained, then whenever you need to do anything sophisticated or mass production like this, then you need to import the expatriates and you start paying in dollars for them as expatriates. So, but what he's doing today, I believe within a very short time, we will have best designers, even not only in Nigeria, not only in Africa, because the market is so huge. Look at the world market. That's fashion. I'm appealing to federal government and other state governments to emulate what is happening in Cross River State today.
Set to compete with global fashion brands across the world, the garment factory got certification to export its products beyond Nigeria to parts of Africa and other continents. The certification was issued to the governor, Professor Ben Ayade, at the end of an intensive 3-week training for staff of the factory on standard trends in the fashion industry by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council.
It's a thing of joy and pride, but more importantly, the fact that we can take these young women off the streets, like she said, take these women off the danger and the social pressure, keep them busy and happy, that's a very great achievement. But let me quickly add, we almost have about 6,000 workers already in this industrial park. These are people that otherwise would have been in the streets. And so for me, this is real governance. And so federal government must encourage us by issuing us this free trade zone status. It's very critical, and that's my biggest request. And I want to thank them for the export license, but I'm waiting to see the day we receive our export free status for this factory. If Ghana is doing 7 containers a day, I expect that from this factory, which is the biggest in Africa, we should be doing almost 50 containers a day. But we are just, today is our first day of export certification. So this time next year, we should be doing close to 30-40 containers a day, which means on t-shirts alone, we can be doing over 100,000 t-shirts a day for export. On boxers alone, we can be doing 35,000. We have bed sheets, we have inner singlets that we are also going to be producing about 70,000 per day. So I see a lot of traffic, but where do you get the fabric from? That's why we are doing the backward integration and growing cotton in the Yalaluku government area of the Northern Senatorial District to allow us have the cotton so that we can convert the cotton to fashion. That is the way to go. And I'm happy that this export license has come at this time. Automatically, all these people are paying taxes. We are exporting, we are making money. It's a 100% government-owned factory. That is the beauty of it. And so, IGRU will go up. Salaries, pensions, gratuities, problem will be a thing of the past.
And we engaged people, started food production in 2016 to this level. And over time, we've made clothing for a whole lot of organizations, such as schools, such as churches, even schools like universities. We make convocation gowns, we make matriculation gowns, and a whole lot of other things also. And we've also made a whole lot of boxers, singlet, t-shirts, and a whole lot of production. And by and large, we've been able to engage a whole lot of Cross-River, a whole lot of people around to work here, and so as to be able to earn a living and also reduce the unemployment level in the state and by and large the whole country. Executive Order 003 of the federal government, which stipulates that local content should be implemented in the procurement process by MDAs. I think it has come at the right time. It has come at the right time in the sense that over time you discover that everything that enters this country in which people put on are usually made outside this country, whereby it helps in killing our local industries around, such as textile industries or even the cotton production too. Because when you talk about the cotton, textile and the garment sector, because they call it CTG, CTG, what it meant to address is that it's supposed to take care of the full value chain from cotton production to the production of the garment. I discovered over time the industry has completely gone dead because of importation majorly. So with this Executive Order 003, it's going to bring that lost glory of the Nigerian cotton, textile, and the garment sector alive again, in the sense that all this while that we import in the country, whereby it has put so much pressure on our foreign reserve, because you need foreign currency to import. So what it means is that the pressure on our currency, the naira, has been so heavy because of the constant importation.
Beyond the provision of a conducive atmosphere, The state government, as part of incentives to encourage staff of the factory, ensures they are picked to work and dropped off after close of work at designated bus stops.
We are here just to inspect the vehicles. We've just taken delivery of 2 number 56-seater buses for the workers of the garment factory. You must realize that for this job that requires a lot of mass transportation of workers, approximately 3,000 workers in the garment factory, obviously allowing them to stand by the streets to get a lift in and out of work exposes them to a lot of perilous danger. It is against that background that the government of Cross River State considered it fit and necessary for their safety and convenience, and to ensure that the job given to them is actually a semi-white collar job. That's why we have provided this air-conditioned fitted luxury bus to take them from work and take them to work. So indeed, we have specific designated areas where this bus will be picking them up according to their areas of residence. So we're again happy and proud that the garment factory not just creating jobs, but also is gradually becoming almost self-sustaining, getting profitable, in spite of the fact that federal government has not kept their own side of the bargain by supporting the production of police uniform, army uniform, customs, immigration, civil defense, NYSC. The list is endless. It is imperative that if this country must grow, there must be a deliberate effort to encourage indigenous products. And for a government of Cross River State that basically live from the intellect, to have gone this far to invest this amount of monies, I expect not less than a proper patronage from federal government.
For fashion lovers and staff alike, such motivation by the state government will encourage productivity among youths of the state and further boost the internally generated revenue of the state government.
Since we have been waiting for this bus and we are standing on the way, be begging help. So as from today, I'm very, very happy to see bus. I'm no more going to beg again. When I dismiss work, we sit on our bus to my place. So I thank my governor. God will bless him and add him more in Jesus' name. Amen.
Well, I'm very happy for what he's done for us. We've been waiting for this bus for a very long time anyway, and we've been having problems at times when we go home. So we really want to say thank you to him.
I feel so excited because now when we dismiss, we don't need to go to the way waiting for the help. Like now, when we dismiss, we're going to enter our bus safely to our homes. So we feel so happy and we want to say thank you to the governor once again. Thank you.
I feel so happy because now we will not late to come to work and we cannot go back home late, because that standing on the road waiting for a vehicle to come and pick us, we will stop. Now we are very happy for what governor is doing for us. I tell him thank you, God bless him, and give him more wisdom to lead us well.
Africa, and indeed the world, await the Calabar brand of garments from this factory, which is presently adjudged to be the biggest in Africa.
It's good to know you're still there. On this segment of the program with me, Mercintor, our focus will be on the patronage of wares from the Cross River State Garment Factory. The Cross River Garment Factory has now become a revenue-generating sector with orders made from within and outside the state. Among those who have patronized the factory for mass production of wares are students from public and private schools in the state.
Following the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari on the implementation of the Presidential Order 003, directing heads of military agencies to patronize local companies for their uniforms, the CBN governor, at a visit to the factory, re-emphasized the need to make Cross River State Garment Factory an ideal market.
At the garment factory, we saw young boys, I call them boys, young boys and young girls that could have been on the street. They are sewing, over 1,000 of them. And I am encouraged because we will be meeting with the service chiefs and the heads of civil defense, the NYSC, all of them, to sign an agreement where rather than import their uniforms from other countries, we will appeal to them that they must come order their garments from places like Cross River State and other garment factories that we have in Nigeria, because that is the only way we can create jobs. In summary, I'm very excited.
So big kudos to my brother, Governor Ben Ayade, and I believe with what he's doing, more Nigerians, more entrepreneurs will join and share in the dream.
That's what it means. Literally speaking, for Nigeria, it's a must that if you have to wear a good t-shirt, it has to be Califina. If you look at the finishing, the detail lining, you will see precision, you will see expertise. If you look at the hemming and the final knitting, it just could be a Versace, it just could be your Gucci or your Roberto Cavalli. That's exactly the quality we've got. And our hope is to exceed this. Even at this, it says that where the competence is just at 70%. So there's more work to be done to get us to export quality. So if this is still not export quality, by our finishing, and definitely by the time Blue Ocean is ready and say we are ready for the export market, our quality, our brand will be the first amongst the first in the entire world. I just want you to explain to me briefly how much magic you have brought within such a short period that we are having better finishing and better hemming. How did you do it?
Thank you, Your Excellency, for giving us a chance to do this thing. The dictate given by His Excellency was he wants 100%, nothing less than that. 100% and cent% quality. So that was the dictate, and he says if he wants to bring the expertise, it should be 100%. So we have taken his directive, and he explained one day, one full hour, his vision to create a garment factory not only for Calabar, not only for Cross River State, not only for Nigeria, not for Africa, but for world class. And I can see within 2 weeks of my stay, this factory has the capability and capacity to become a world class in just 1 year time. This samples which you are seeing, this is made by our own people from Calabar. So I'm proud to say nothing was done by Indian team. It was just given a direction. Our people are totally capable, and I think they can make a wave in the fashion industry.
On display at the factory are products produced from hair, which includes shirts of all kinds, trousers, boxers, school uniforms, and many others adjust to meet global standards of quality and taste of end users.
Hello? Yeah, what we're doing right now, we are displaying some of the products we've made at the garment factory. Already a whole lot of customers have come around to buy them. But because of the significance of the season we are now, the season of Easter, that's why you see what is inscribed there. He is risen. It is risen, which is the essence of this season. And therefore, we are displaying here for you to see how it is neatly made, and you can fabric, the quality of the sewing, the stitches very straight, perfectly made. And that's what we're doing Cross River State Garment Factory.
Yeah, I just said the advertisement that are going to be sales
on this our garment industry today. I just say let me come and pick some materials for myself. Yeah, what I pick is okay. I like the quality. As I look at it, the quality is okay for me and the price is very fantastic and I love it very well. If they continue with this, I think price of gold will be dropped down in the market.
I just came here to pick some boxers. Yes, I've checked the quality. The quality is okay and the price also is very fair. The essence of this fair is to get something quality with minimal cost, and that is what the government has tried to achieve, and I'm highly impressed with what I've seen here.
Actually, I was made to understand that the garment factory is doing promo today, and I thought it wise and deemed it necessary to be here and patronize the locally made products.
Okay, this product, you love the t-shirt, right? Beautiful product. The quality, superb. The costing, outside there, if you see most of our colleagues from other groups, if you look at their t-shirt, you will not admire it at all. The quality is wow. The cresting, personally, I don't like what is undergrade. I love something that even if you wear it, someone sees, they'll ask you, where did you get it? And then maybe you give those people sales. That was why I went for this product. The quality is wonderful. And the cresting is beautiful. When I brought it to my group members, they really appreciated it. They loved it. They said we should go for it. And the price is, I believe, is a fair price for anybody. Very fair price.
Okay, this t-shirt was gotten from garment factory. Yeah.
So how did you get to know about the garment factory?
We've been hearing so much about the garment factory, about the production that goes on there. So this is a practical course, computer graphics. We decided to patronize there. So far, this is the best quality we've gotten amongst other groups. This t-shirt right now is the best and I really love it. We sent our money like a week in preparation of getting it, and on the day we asked for the delivery, we actually got it.
Fashion enthusiasts commend the quality of garments produced from this factory while appreciating Governor Ben Ayade for the initiative.
I've been to other garment factories across the world, and some just have, as a matter of fact, 100 or 50 sewing machines for that matter, and here you have 500 very active, busy individuals, each doing their own thing on their machines. And so in terms of size, and having looked at what they also have produced in terms of what they're able to produce, and the attention that's been given to the entire process, I would say that without doubt it can compete with any garment factory in the world.
Our carnival has become the standard for new things, standard for performance, standard for cultural diplomacy, and now a standard for business collaboration between those who make carnival work and those of us who regulate. The main issue here has been that of the fact that our carnival is competitive, the genre is competition. And this is what the people in the Caribbean are trying to take back from us. Now that His Excellency has set up this, looking into the future, while providing jobs on the one hand for our boys, and providing that quality presentation through costuming. Costumes for carnival are usually used from materials called the surround materials. Easy to deal, easy to pick, easy to dispense. But because it is competitive, we are insisting that the garment factory leadership and administration must assure the bands that they are protected. And that is why, as the regulator of Carnival Calabar, we have introduced the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, which the bands will go into with the garment factory to ensure that the philosophy they want to put forward through interpreting the team will be treated individually and protected. And because this patent is registered and protected in London, in support of the 72 nation countries that make up the Madrid Protocol, our patent will now be extended to the garment factory and the bands in this mutual marriage that will bring about mutual benefit. Cross Riverians, Nigerians will be the happier for it.
The streets of Calabar was at the 2019 first Carnival Dry Run, adorned with garments produced by the factory.
Bangladesh is the second largest exporter of garments in the whole world, and we are bringing them to partner with Cross River State Garment Factory. And so we are here to develop a business from the carnival visit. Now I am going to be visiting Bangladesh after this carnival to meet with their industrialists to say come partner with us and take advantage of the African Growth Opportunity Act and ship our garments out of Nigeria to Americas under the AGUA program. So I think that it's a very nice thing. There's a business angle to it.
That we cannot have this carnival event and keep buying t-shirts and costumes from outside of Cross River State. And that is the dream that His Excellency, our very digital governor, had when he established the garment factory. So we will begin to have our local content produced to meet our needs. I believe that this year, the garment factory, the workers, the staff, are going to be very well occupied by producing standard costumes and t-shirts for the carnival.
The garment factory, by way of receiving international accolade, recently entered into a partnership deal with the Bangladesh government. Find out in this edition of Focus Cross River how beneficial this partnership will be to the Cross River State economy. I am Mercy Nto.
This is the first time I'm visiting a garment factory in Nigeria during my assignment as High Commissioner, 1.5 years. I'm impressed by the facilities and everything I can see. It's a huge complex, and meanwhile I have learned that a good number of workers are working here. Many of them are women, and I'm very delighted to share with you that I had just a meeting with His Excellency the Governor of the Cross River State, and I had discussed among others the issue of garments because Bangladesh is the second largest producer and exporter of garments in the world after China. So he showed, His Excellency the Governor showed a special interest about forging close relations or cooperation, especially in respect of garments. And I welcomed his idea, and I think my visit at this factory will help me to have an idea about the production facilities and the environment, everything. In fact, this is an area where we can collaborate, and we also discussed about other areas like pharmaceuticals, ceramics, and everything. So this garment factory, I know that it's a government-owned factory, and it's a huge production unit with all available facilities, and I hope it will continue its production smoothly, which will contribute to its economy.
Cross Riverians and fashion lovers alike look forward to that glorious moment when they will have their state as the new fashion hub of the country, which is another facelift and radical approach by the current administration towards diversifying the state economy and boosting its internal revenue generation capacity.
It's good to have you back again. No doubt you now have an idea of what happens at the garments factory. You too can stop by at the facility to place your orders at an affordable rate. Focus Crossriver is brought to you by the Office of the SSA Electronic Media, and I am your host, Imani Ode. You can be a part of the program by visiting the handles displayed on your screen. See you for another edition of the program. Bye for now.